Hey guys, it's the 8-Bit Music Chicken here and welcome to the 8-Bit Music Chicken Gaming Show. Now, it has been ages since we've done a video game versus on the 8-Bit Music Chicken Gaming Show, so we're doing another one today. But it's a rather weird one, because we are comparing two video game cartridges. Yeah, the cartridges, and these cartridges are the NES Cartridge and the Atari 2600 cartridge. But we're not doing this as a normal video game versus today, because instead of having 5 categories and the one with the most points wins, I am doing this video in a different method opposed to me just talking to the camera. And I've been wanting to try out this method for ages, and basically I've got a ton of clips of these cartridges and other stuff, and there's a voice over of me talking about these cartridges. So tell me what you think of this new method in the comments. It won't replace just me talking to the camera like this, but it'll come in handy, for example, with my upcoming Retron 5 review, where I can take footage from the TV of the Retron 5 and have me talking over it like that. And this is something I've been wanting to try for a while now, so tell me what you think after you've seen this video. But yeah, I have a video explaining about the Atari 2600 cartridge to start off with, so let's watch that. Let's kick this video off by talking about the Atari 2600 cartridges. They feel really well built for the most part, and their shape is really good, especially if you like to stack them up on a shelf, as their square shape makes it easy for them to stack up on top of each other. Also, since these cartridges are vertical, a lot of games will fit on your shelf. The end labels are nice and big too, and speaking of end labels, they are pretty decent, as the artwork is, in my opinion, some of the best. Just look how cool this missile command artwork is. However, some labels do experience some bubbling over time, which is most commonly found on Activision games, but I have also found this on some other of my games, like Space Invaders and Pac-Man, as you can see here. These games are very old though, so maybe it isn't fair to judge them on that, but what really isn't good about these cartridges is how they go in the console. Not only do you have to turn the game upside down, but you also have to turn it backwards so you can't even see the front of the game. That is some bad design right there. But overall, these cartridges are really nice, despite their flaws. So, that's all about the Atari 2600 cartridge. But can the NES cartridge beat it? Let's find out. Next, let's take a look at the NES cartridges. Right from the get-go, you can see that they are very big, especially compared to the 2600. However, this really isn't a big issue, as just like the Atari, they are easy to stack and thanks to their shape. Also, I really like how they have tiny grips to take the cartridge out of the console, and this really lends itself to the design with the awesome ridges it has along the front, which is strangely appealing. However, this does mean that the label isn't as big, but although this isn't a huge issue, I do much prefer the 2600's huge end labels to the small ones on the Nintendo. Speaking of which, what is the artwork on the NES like? Well, it is very different to the Atari, and although they are not bad, I really do think that compared to the 2600, which has artwork that seems like has been done from scratch, the NES mostly looks like pictures that could have been copied from somewhere else, or just don't have that same Atari style. To be honest though, the NES cartridges don't really have any giant flaws, and are solidly built and impressive. Okay, so now you know about both these cartridges. Which one's the winner? Now let me tell you, this was a hard thing to decide. But I have concluded out of this very close competition out of these two, that slightly the NES cartridge is better. Although there are a lot of things I prefer on the Atari 2600 cartridge, like for example the huge end labels and the artwork. But the NES cartridge is just a really solid games cartridge, and it has less flaws. Like for instance, with this you have to turn the cartridge upside down and backwards to put it in the console, and also some of the cartridges have bubbling under there. the labels. So with less flaws, the NES cartridge wins. So tell me what you thought of this new method of making videos. Like, as I've said, this isn't the new way of doing video game verses or anything. It's just, in the past, these videos have just been me talking to the camera, and that's it. And I think that's great, and I'll continue to do that. But if you guys want more of similar to what you saw today, also tell me that in the comments. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.